Alright, what is going on, fellow gamers? ChaosEclipse here. We are back on World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic. And it looks like a lot of my stuff is currently expiring as far as being in the auction house. So you guys will see how that works. The reason why I'm on this screen here is because I just started up the game. There was an update. When there's an update, the add-ons are going to say that they're out of date. You can click load anyway, and it will still load them. It'll work from the previous version, but it may be a little wonky depending on what all has changed in the game versus something that they may need to recode for the add-on. But we're not going to worry about that. And then you guys can see here, this is the recount that I was talking about. It doesn't have anything active in it at the moment just because I haven't attacked anything. So I'm not going to use this. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Let's see how much other stuff is still expiring. So we're going to come in here, open this bad boy up. We're going to look at our auctions. So all of these are probably going to expire as well. That one looks like someone bid on it. So they bid one silver, which is fine. I don't need the silver, or I don't need the Firefin Snapper, so I don't care that he's getting it for that. If I did care, I wouldn't have put it in there for the 1 silver. But as you guys can see, we look a bit different here. Our armor has changed. One of the things I want to point out that I kept forgetting to do was the mace. Once you guys learn the new weapons, please make sure that you guys actually level those, because I wasn't doing very much damage when I first learned the maces, and then I realized that I hadn't actually leveled them that much. I may or may not have pointed that out in the last video, but I wanted to make sure that I at least remembered this time. Our mining and our skinning are both up a bit. We also leveled our first aid here all the way to 300, or at least like we have the max now at 300. Oh look, yeah, see, so that's right there where it says a buyer has been found for your auction. Firefin, that was the one that that the guy bid on, that's actually now selling. Which I think when they bid like that, it takes a little bit for it to come through, so we might not see the money for that right away, but I honestly don't remember. We're still holding on to the pages for Stranglethorn Vale. That quest is now within our grasp. I actually had to backtrack a bit. So, as you guys know, in some of the previous videos, we were looking at doing quests in Stranglethorn Vale. We started there. I started grinding in the top of that area. So if we take a look here, this is Stranglethorn Vale down here, and see, that's what I was talking about. So it's actually not even showing the quests right now, which I'll probably just have to go in the tracker. That's probably why I pulled up the page. But anyway, I think I'm down in this area now for the questing. There might be some more stuff up here, but most of the stuff is going to be down in this area, and it'll just keep moving down. Then we have tons of quests that we can pick up here at Booty Bay. But because the max level, I think, in this area for your questing is around 40-42. Keep in mind that's not the average, that is the max. When I started here, we were like level 30, so the questing was going really slow. It was hard to kill things even in bear form. So what I ended up doing is I backtracked a bit. We came up to, where's it at? Is it up here? Yeah. We came up here to Arathi Highlands. We started doing the quests here. These ones are also a bit high. I think the only one I couldn't do, or I guess maybe the two that I couldn't do, is you have to kill some guys at the end of this keep here, which I made it to them. I just couldn't kill them. And then these little points around the map here, there are like elementals there that are like level 38. Couldn't kill those. So I had to backtrack even more. Not that big of a deal, but that's why I'm not as far along as I'd like to be. But at the same time, we got a ton of materials, as you guys can see. We got some true silver, we got lesser bloodstone deposits, all this stuff here. We've been getting mithril, because now we can actually mine mithril. But because I couldn't do these quests, I couldn't do the other quests, and we're moving along experience wise, pretty good bit because of the double XP thing, which I don't even see that up there. Like I said, they're currently in an update. I don't know if that's going to come back or not. Maybe it's just gone now because of our level. I'm not sure on that. Which, by the way, we are currently level 39, so we're right around the corner from 40. But anyway, because I had to backtrack, so if we come away from Stranglethorn Vale and we backtrack from there, we came back to Darkshire. I did all the quests in this area. I didn't do the quests that lead you into other zones, but I did the quests within this area. So all the quests in this area are completely done. And as you can see, it still helped us out because we got a lot of tin, iron, and copper in this area. And then, you know, just our random chests and stuff like that. And then even with doing this, we were still just a little bit behind. So what I did is I also came up here to this place, which is the... oh, what's the name of this place? I call it South Shore, but it's not South Shore. I mean, that's the name of that place, but what is this? The Hillsbridge something? There it is. Hillsbrad Foothills. South Shore, that's just showing the name of the little house because that is the main place there. But it's the Hillsbrad Foothills. Now, this place is highly PvP because this here, this Torn Mill, it is exactly like South Shore. The difference is that this one is for the Alliance, this one is for the Horde, and they're like, you know, not very far from each other. This place is a neutral zone, so you could go back and forth all day with people here. Luckily, when I came through here, I only ran into maybe one or two Horde. Ran into a couple question marks that pretty much one-shot me, so there was nothing I can do about that. But as far as other Horde that I ran into that were around my level, they didn't mess with me, I didn't mess with them. We just kind of called it a day and went about our ways. And then we found a few fishing spots here because I had to do quests for killing turtles along this, so I figured if we're seeing these, you know, go ahead and do fishing. Since I've been leveling the mining in this area, not in just this area, but just in general, I've been leveling the mining. When I seen these fishing spots, I was like, you know what, I haven't done any fishing in a while, let me go ahead and level that too. So our fishing is up a bit. And then we also got our first aid up a bit, which if you look at our first aid here, we can now make mage weave bandages, which you guys didn't even see the silk. I don't think you guys seen the wool, but like I said, the higher you go in these, the more you can heal yourself for. So this bandage that we can make right now currently heals us for 800 damage over 8 seconds. Keep in mind that's not too much because we currently have 1343 health, but that is still a decent chunk where if you're bandaging, you don't have to use your own mana to be able to heal yourself, and you don't have to worry on like a healer to actually heal you. You can just take care of it yourself. So let's come over here, let's grab all these items that expired, and I won't show you guys putting them back in the auction house just because that's going to be annoying, and I'm sure that that is not why you guys are here, but we are going to at least take them out of here. And it looks like nothing here sold. Actually, I got something there. That's what that ding was. It was probably the one for the guy that we seen with the firefin snapper, and then it looks like all of these sold as well, so we'll see what we've got there. So we're currently at 660 gold. We've been doing really good in the auction house. I'm not really worried about it. Spider silk, not thick spider silk. Regular spider silk has actually been selling pretty good. And then we have just random weapons and stuff here that we've found. Some wild vine, heavy leather, copper, stranglethorn. And then some stuff that didn't sell again, which I have been being undercut a lot with the tin lately. I think more people are catching on to there not being much tin in there, so a lot of people are going back and, you know, putting tin in there, so that's why we're not selling it as much, but I'm not worried about it because we're already at, you know, basically 700 gold there. And then we have our shadow fan, or our shadow gems here. And there we go. Yeah, so that puts us at 722. Like I said, we've been doing really good in the auction house. Even the stuff that didn't sell, I'm not worried about it. Some of this stuff, like this large fang and like the fish oil, I'll probably just end up selling to a vendor. And then the more important stuff, like these things here, you know, I'll actually put back in the auction house and see if we can get those to sell, but not worried about that. So the main thing I wanted to do in this one is just give you guys an update as to our leveling process. And like I said, you guys can see that I did have to backtrack a bit. So we finished all the quests here. The quests here actually do go up into this area here as well. And if I remember correctly, there is not a like this is basically connected to the other area. I don't know why it shows like this on the map to where it's two different places. But there's no like different flight path here. The one connected here is also the one that is down in this area. So the flight path is here at South Shore. I think it's like right up here somewhere, which it's not showing just because the whole questy thing isn't going on right now, which I can probably fix that if I remember how to open it. What is it? Left click, left click, left click. Left click's not working. Control shift left click. Control shift left click. That's not working. Right click. That's not working. Control right click. That's not working. Control left click. Not working. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to mess with that. We're probably just gonna have to re-download a new update for that. Oh look, and we still have more stuff expiring. I thought it was done. But yeah, so like I said, I finished all of these stuff in the Hillsbred Foothills. So we have two options. We can go back to Arathi Highlands, which there's not much here. Like I said, the main thing I need to finish is killing the guys here. That's going to be pretty easy. And then coming back and finish the things with the elementals, that'll be easy, and this area will be done. And then down in Stranglethorn Vale, in this area, we have tons of more questing to do. So even when we finish with the stuff in this area, we're actually doing quests from a place here called Nessingwary. There it is, Nessingwary's Expedition. And there's a couple quests that are like up in this area where the actual flight path is here. Well, one of the flight paths, the other one is down here in Booty Bay. But that's all the upper part here. This over here is a raid, so we can't do anything with that. It's all elite stuff. You need an actual raid group to do that. But we are finishing up everything here. Once we finish up with everything here, then we will come down here, we'll pick up all the quests here, and we'll start doing our quests in this area, which it will still bring us back up this way a little bit. I don't think it goes past here though. That scared me for a second. I forgot that we're in Stormwind. We don't have to worry about, you know, anything. But yeah, so that's where we're currently at. Once we finish with these places, I'm not really sure where I want to go. I'm probably going to end up coming up here to the hinterlands. This area, I like this area as a druid. It's quiet. Sometimes you'll run into horde and stuff, but you can actually get some really good items out of this area just from running it. What's the other area I'm thinking of? Is it Fellwood? I don't even know where it's at. Western Plaguelands, that's too high. Is it even on this continent? Perilous, is this it? This might be it. Although that might be a higher level too. I'm not sure. We'll have to look it up. I honestly can't remember. But like I said, I at least wanted to give you guys an update with everything that is going on. There is a couple other things that I want to touch on. So, where is it? Our talent tree here. Is it this one? What am I thinking of? I thought it was a Savage Roar. It's not the Savage Roar that we were talking about. There was something in here that I was completely wrong about. And I think in the video I even said, I didn't know it does that. That's because I read it wrong. It doesn't do what I thought it did. Maybe it's in here? And I do have some new skills. I will go over that in a second. I'm just trying to see if I can remember what it was here. Claw, is it the Ferocious Bite? Yeah, it is the Ferocious Bite. So, I think with this one, I think when I said it fails that it gives you back 30 energy, it does not do that. If you guys read it yourself, you caught that right on the spot. It says finishing move that causes damage per combo point and converts each damage point of energy up to a maximum of 30 into a 0.9 additional damage. Damage is increased by your attack power. So not only if you do the 5 points and it does 221 to 236 damage, any extra damage or any extra energy that you have is automatically going to be exhausted up to 30 energy, and that 30 energy is going to be converted to 0.9 additional damage per energy that you have in there. So 0.9 times 30, I think, came out to like 2.7. I don't remember exactly what it was, but basically that would be added on to whatever the damage is overall. So it gives you a little bit of extra damage. Now, I'm ahead of on these videos as far as like when I'm posting the other videos. I don't even think the video at this point in time has been posted for me talking about that. But obviously, I probably have people already calling me out when that video is being put up. So I wanted to at least go over it in this one and at least correct that. Like I said, I'm sure you guys are already calling me out on that. So that's perfectly fine. You guys are right. I'm wrong. I apologize. Please forgive me. But the other thing that we wanted to go over here is I wanted to go over our new skills. So let's see here. New skills in this area, as far as like our normal form, we don't have new skills. We just upgraded a few things. So the main one I wanted to point out here is a hibernate. I think before it did it to beasts and dragonkin that were under level 40, I think it was. Rank 2 actually does it so that, or not so that, it does it for stuff that is 55 and lower, which it doesn't say that. Maybe that was the soothe animal. Yeah, it's the soothe animal. But we also did get hibernate. Hibernate works on higher levels as well, obviously. Let's see here. What else do we have here? Obviously, some of the other stuff was upgraded too, but I'm not going to go over it because it was pretty basic stuff. One of the other things is this here, something called Find Fish. The entire time I played this game, I don't think I've ever had this skill. I didn't know this was a skill. When I was in the Hillsbrad Foothills, the place that we were talking about that is up here, and I was fishing along here, right here where this first chest is. This isn't where I got it. But along here, there was, it wasn't that specific spot. It was along here somewhere. But there was a chest that I fished out of the water. It was called a watertight trunk. There was actually a book in there that said like fishing journal or something like that. And when I got it, it actually put it in my inventory here. I had an exclamation point, said I could learn something. So when I clicked on right click, it said learn find fish. And as you can see here, nearby fishing nodes appear on the mini map. Only one form of tracking can be active at a time. So this works just like our tracking for our mining, which is the one over here, and it works just like the track humanoid. So if we went cat and we did track humanoid, you can see that this changes to tracking humans, and now we can see all the humans in the area. But you can only track one at a time, so it's either, find the fish, which all the humans go away, so now I can track the fish spots, which should probably be along here if there's any, but I don't see any at the moment. It's only for the actual fishing nodes, and then obviously this one would be for if there were any mining nodes in the area. So, like I said, I've never had that skill before. It's actually very surprising that I've never had it before, but then again, it's not like amazingly surprising just because I didn't really do much fishing. I did some, but not like enough to evidently find that. With the skinning that we've been doing, we've been getting higher in this. So this is the Master of Anatomy, skinning all those dead animals, broaden your anatomical knowledge, increasing your crit strike by 9%. So that is another reason to at least take a look at the different skills that you can learn, because they are giving different stuff. And even the mining is giving us this here, toughness. All your hard work spent as mining made you exceptionally tough, increasing your stamina by 5%. So we are eventually going to lose this one because we're going to switch it over to jewel crafting. I don't remember what jewel crafting gives us, but that's not what I'm worried about with the jewel crafting. I want to be able to make my own jewels because it's going to be really hard to find specific jewel crafting, and it's also going to be expensive as hell. But yeah, so I'm not really worried about that. What else? We don't have anything else in here. I mean, obviously you guys can see what I've been putting points into. If we take a look at the restoration tree, we have 16 points in here. Now I know people usually end up with the build that I'm going to usually end up somewhere around 15 to 18. I don't know if I'm going to put any more in here. I think for the time being, I'm going to stay here. If I do put more, it is going to end up being 18 just because I'll put the last two in here. Just because it'll end up giving us 100% every time we shift. into the form. And one of the things that a lot of people as a druid like to do is if you're fighting something, whether you're in cat form, bear form, is you can do those things like your attacks, waste all your energy, pop out of cat form, throw up a heal, rebuff yourself, whatever, mid-fight, and go right back into it. So as you can see, when I went into it, that automatically gave me 60 points. So we'll do it again. Keep an eye on your mana down here as well, but if we come out, go back in, starts at 60 again, and obviously, you know, we have enough mana to keep doing that several times during a fight. The whole reason for that is because if I am at 100% with this, if I max this out and I'm 100%, say I use all my energy, or I do a finishing move and I use Ferocious Bite, and I'm like here, my finishing bite is going to, or my Ferocious Bite is going to take the rest of my energy. If I do that, instead of waiting for my energy to recharge there, I can literally come out and go back in and I'll automatically be at 100 again, and I can just keep attacking. So it helps with DPS. Now that has to do a lot with like min-maxing and stuff like that, putting out as much, you know, damage per second as possible, which as DPS, that's what you should be doing. But it all depends on like if I join a group that's going to require that, or if what's it called? If you know, the guild is like, hey, this is what you need to do, blah blah. I'm not saying I want to play how others want me to play, but some guilds do require you to, you know, be at a certain point, and sometimes that's what it takes to do that. So I don't know if I'm even going to join a guild yet, but that's definitely something that we can take a look at. And then in here you guys can see that I did go with the thick hide. I also went with this one here just because it is increases our dodge by 4. I have not went with this one yet. I probably will. For now we're going to put another point into here, and then we are at least going to get this one, which gives you 50% chance to gain additional 5 rage every time, anytime you get a critical strike while a bear, dire bear form, and your critical strikes in cat form add a combo point at 50% chance. Yeah. So basically every time you get a crit, you have a 50% chance of getting another combo point, which will lead to you being able to do a rip or a ferocious bite sooner. Now, if I max this one out, put 2 points into it, that's going to be a 100% chance every time I crit. As a cat, running around in this form, your cat form, your crit should be very high. Right now, mine's at 22.5. I need to see what my max is because there is a hard cap on crit chance. So obviously, if you're putting, say my max is like 30 and I'm at like, you know, 50, then I'm basically doing overkill on my crit. Yes, it'll help me crit more often, but according to the game, it's technically not, because if the max you can do is the 30 that we're talking about, you doing 50 extra in there, you're still only going to technically be doing what 30% would output, if that makes sense. Hopefully I said that right. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it at the moment. I mean, we're still a lower level. We're not even, well, I mean, we're about to be halfway through the game because we are level 39. The cap right now is level 80 in this one. Now as far as the new skills, I don't think, yeah, there was nothing in there. I'm not sure if I ever went over Cower. Cower is causing no damage but lowering your threat a small amount, making the enemy less likely to attack you. So let's say I'm attacking him right here, and you know there's a tank. Well, I mean obviously I would be behind him, which if you don't know, if you are behind a target or even to the side of them, they can't block or parry you. So as DPS you always want to be behind the target. You should have a tank in front of the target over here, and your healer is probably off to the side somewhere along with mages and warlocks, all the casters and everything. But anyway, as a melee DPS, you want to be behind target or to the side of them. Your tank will be in front. And this is just basic, guys. If you don't know this, you know, then that's why I'm explaining it. If you do know it, then I apologize for needing to go through this. But anyway, if your tank is over here, and say I'm doing more DPS than the tank can output, like say I'm running with a low-level group or something, and I'm just helping them, but I also don't want to pull aggro off of the tank, this is something that I may want to use just because it will lower my threat. So even though I'm outputting more DPS, if I cast this, it should lower my threat a bit, leaving it so that the tank can get more threat. Like I said, I'm not sure if I went over that one, so I at least wanted to touch on it at this point. The other thing here is Frenzied Regeneration. This one is in bear form. This one is very questionable as to when you should use it, even as a tank. It says it converts up to 10 rage per second into health for 10 seconds. Each point of rage converted into 0.3 of maximum health. So basically it heals you while you're in bear form. The problem with this one though is if you don't have a lot of rage going on right now, so like if I don't have my rage constantly up in this area, there's not going to be a point to use this, because if my rage is staying down here and I'm not really getting that much rage off of whatever I'm attacking, then using this is not going to get me any rage at all, and the only thing I'm going to be able to do is keep auto attacking. I'm not going to be able to do any of my more powerful attacks. So just keep that in mind whenever you pop that. That's more of a survival thing. But if you need to pop this in bear form, more than likely you're probably already dead, or you're just trying to make a last minute run for your money basically. What else is new? I'm not seeing anything else there. We have our prowl and cat form. When you are prowling, you can actually use pounce. This is the new one. So pounce, it says it stuns a target for 3 seconds, causing 270 damage over 18 seconds. Must be prowling. Awards 1 combo point. So you don't have to be behind them for this one. But it is more like a rogue sap. It only lasts 3 seconds though, where their sap lasts, I don't know, like 10 or 15 seconds, which is ridiculous. The only difference is when they sap you, I think when they attack you, you become unsapped. I can't remember. Maybe not. But the stun, they definitely don't become unstunned, but it's also 3 seconds. So basically you would have to pounce and then do whatever attacks. Now, if you are going to be invisible when you attack them, you can use the pounce. I would honestly say use Ravage. We finally got our Ravage. This one does ravages a target, causing 385% damage plus 162 to the target. Must be prowling. This one though, you must be behind, and it awards 1 combo point. So this one is more of just a stun factor if you're trying to do a little bit of crowd control and just get things underway. This one is for your glass cannon type thing, and you're trying to do as much damage and make them dead before you. Yes, I said make them dead. I think that might be it. Pretty sure we went over challenging roar. The difference between demoralizing roar and not demoralizing roar. The difference between challenging roar and the other one, which is growl. You can see here it says this one taunts a target to attack you, but it has no effect on targets already attacking you. So it's only going to work on if I'm trying to pull aggro. So like we were talking about before, let me come out of that stealth. If I'm behind, there we go. If I'm behind the target and there's a tank over here and I see he's starting to die and maybe the healer's already dead, first of all, first thing I would probably want to do is use my rebirth on the healer, get him revived. But if it's a dire moment and like the healer dies the same time the tank is about to die, one of the ways I can save the tank is go bear form real quick, use growl. It will turn this target to me. Growl only works on one target, and it is only a temporary thing, because once like it only lasts for so long basically. Once that like wears off, he'll pretty much start attacking the tank again. But it is a bit of a save tactic as a druid. Keep in mind sorry guys, keep in mind that if you are not geared to tank, do not do that. You will probably wipe the entire group that you're in, especially if it is like a raid or anything like that. Do not do that if you're not prepared. So make sure you guys know what you're doing on that. People will hate you if you do it and you're not prepared for that. The other thing is the challenging roar. This one works with all enemies within 10 yards to focus on you for 6 seconds. This one is also temporary. This one does say it's only 6 seconds. This one is based off of like not 6 seconds, but it's based off of if you can keep that aggro. So if I can turn him to me using the growl, and then I can out DPS or just get my threat meter higher than the tank, he will stay on me. But if not, he is going to go back to the tank, like I said. But this one, As you can see, it does it basically the same thing, but it only does it for 6 seconds, and it does it with all enemies. So both of these guys are attacking a tank, and the tank's about to die, and I use this one, both targets will turn at me. If I use this one, only one target that I'm targeting is going to turn to me. So just keep that in mind when you're playing as a druid. That is just normal taunting things. I mean, it works the same way, I'm sure, with you know, other tanks that are out there. I think that might be it. I don't think we actually learned anything else. We went over Tranquility. Oh, we finally got our Remove Curse as well. This dispels one curse from a friendly target. I don't think we had that in the last one either. So I actually put that one down over here. So if I ever have a curse put on me, it'll pop up in this area here, up where my cursor is. So there are a few different things that'll pop up here. Your poisons will pop up here if you're poisoned, which at that point we can use Abolish Poison. If you're cursed, it'll pop up here, so you'll want to use Remove Curse. And if there's a magic effect on you, like a silence or anything like that, that will also pop up here. Magic things, you can't remove. I think mages are the ones that can remove that. It's either mages or priests. But they're the ones that can remove that. Maybe even pallies. I honestly can't remember. I've never played any of those classes, mage, priest, or pally. I tried a mage once, kind of liked it, but never stuck with it. Only got to like level 10 and never really did anything else with it. But yeah, so those things will pop up here. You can remove all except the magic. Oh, actually, I take that back. There's one other thing that pops up here that you can't remove is disease. You can't remove diseases. It doesn't count as a poison or a curse or anything like that. It counts as a disease. So obviously you can't remove those. But yeah, just keep that in mind as well. And I think that's it, guys. I know we didn't do anything in this one. I just talked about just a few things as far as what we are doing, where we plan on going, how we plan on getting there, and that's basically it. I did come and get the Moonbrook flight path as well. We discovered all of this area here just because even though it is a starter area right outside of Stormwind, exploring the new areas gives you a little bit of XP, and then it also helps with your achievements. So you can see our first aid, our cooking was up, our fishing. Yeah, see, this one was the thing that I was just talking about. Learn the ability to find fish. So didn't even know that that was a thing. Let's see, expert fisherman. Let's see. Yeah, so there's all kinds of different stuff in here, guys. We haven't done any of that. Haven't done any PvP. If you're going around and you're exploring all the areas, you will end up unlocking all of these, and eventually you can get like different titles and things, which I'm not seeing any titles on any of these. You have to click on them? No. What if we look in here? I know there's a title and something in here. There it is. So if we did this one, read the volumes of the old school arcane magic found in the Dalaran listed below. We will end up getting this. We'll get a reward, the Schools of Arcane Magic Mastery. It's just a title though, I think. That one might not even be a title. I'm not even sure. I think the ones that are title will actually say the title, like that. There we go, title and lore master colors. So yeah, you'll get, you know, different titles for the different things that you do and all that. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for joining me. I know I have not done much as far as showing you guys combat, but honestly, a lot of the combat is just like clicking on a target, hitting right click so that you're auto targeting, and then every now and then throwing in like a rake, claw, things like that. So the combat in the game isn't really amazing unless you're really doing like PvP and stuff, which I tried again to sign up for a PvP thing, but at the moment I just think that we're just too low of a level, and because the game's kind of, you know, well, first of all, Dragonflight came out not too long ago, so there's not too many people playing Wrath of the Lich King Classic, but even if they were, there's just not too many people that are still at that lower level in this game that are, you know, able to do that. So if we do the Who, we do 30 to 39. That's how many people are on right now. Now keep in mind this is just the Alliance side. Actually, someone, no, that's not. What is this? Okay, yeah, we're gonna ignore that for now. That had to do with one of the add-ons. So keep in mind, this is only the Alliance people. It tells you where they're at. We're the ones in Elwyn Forest. There's one other guy that was just in the place where we were, one in Darkshore and one in the Arathi Highlands. So technically, like we were talking about, 39 would be an ideal level to go into PvP at, because it's the top for this rank, basically, because it would be 30 to 39. So we would be, 9 levels above anyone who went in as it's level 30, and we could actually, kill them a lot easier just because we have more health, we have the abilities, things like that. There's no restriction on any of that stuff. It's not like, oh, because they're level 39, you're balanced. It doesn't work like that. I'm like almost 100% sure it doesn't. So going in at a low level, not saying there's anything wrong with that. I used to do a lot of my leveling through PvP, because doing those PvP, the battlegrounds and everything like that, you can still get experience, you can still level off of them. And that was actually a lot of my past. It wasn't doing what we're needing to do now, which is backtrack and go to lower levels just to be able to get to, the level that we need to finish up a certain area. Like if I needed 3 levels or something, I would probably be bored out of my mind, and I would just go and do some PvP, and it would just make it that much more exciting, because you can talk crap, you can joke around with your friends and everything. But at the same time, we're also playing solo this time, so we don't have anyone to play with at the moment. At least until I join a guild or something like that. But even when I do join a guild, if I join a guild, it's going to depend on whether or not I want to find a guild that is very serious in how they play, or if maybe it's a PvP guild. I'm not sure yet. There's just a lot of different things that we can take a look at. But either way, we will figure that out. But that's going to be it for now, guys. Thanks for at least joining me. Thanks for at least hearing my rant. We didn't do, like I said, anything. We just, exited, or not exited. We just pulled all of our stuff out of the auction house, or at least picked up all of our stuff from the auction house. Which more than half of, we're probably going to end up throwing back in there anyway. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about any of the new skills or anything, or the leveling path I like to use, even later game, earlier game, and you guys didn't see me talk about something, let me know down in the comment section. Ask questions. Even if I don't know the answer, I will make sure 100% that I know the answer before just rambling something off that I'm not 100% sure.
Can I help you?
I will actually look it up for you guys and everything. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Definitely helps out the channel. So
see you around.
Make sure you guys are hitting the like button if you haven't. If you are not subscribed, like I said before, at least consider doing so. It is completely free. It definitely helps out the channel as well. And then the last thing I want to mention is if you guys are wanting to see how often I post or anything like that, make sure that you guys are hitting that notification bell icon. It definitely helps out with you guys, so that you guys can see every time I am posting a video. But like I said, that's going to be it, guys. Thanks again, and I will see you guys in the next video.